G20. And I wonder what Mr. Sarkozy can do for the year that he's going to be the president, whether he has the weight to take the lead and do something.
Martin Corr, today you signed an op-ed piece in the Guardian newspaper where you pulled no punches when it came to the IMF. You think their role is misguided.
Well, I think the basic problem we are now having is that we don't have regulations and we don't have disciplines in terms of the financial markets and the capital flows. In the Bretton Woods system, we had a fixed exchange rate system, and therefore you didn't have this speculation as to whether currencies are going to go up and down. And this was accompanied also by controls that countries had to prevent speculative flows of capital. Capital should flow and can flow if it is related to trade or foreign direct investment or, people taking holidays abroad. But we should regulate and control flows of capital for speculative reasons. So if we don't have these speculative flows, if we don't have so much capital flowing to China, for example, which then China would have to put in terms of increasing its foreign reserves, then we wouldn't be seeing so much of these pressures that are taking place. And we need to prevent future financial crises. We need to prevent the free flow of capital for speculative reasons. And this is what the IMF should be doing. Instead, what we are doing is to give more and more money to the IMF to bail out countries that have gone into crisis because of financial speculation. And the whole problem gets worse and worse. So I think we are misguided in giving more financial resources to the IMF when we should be empowering the IMF to help to regulate the flow of capital for speculative purposes.
Fatemi.
Well, look, I totally disagree. IMF should become a lender of last resort, the way a central bank does it for banks at home. Nobody needs it if people know that there is such a thing down there. There is no run on the banks because they know they can always go to the central bank and get more money. And that is what the role of the IMF should be if they restructure the architecture of the world finance. I don't think having regulations, this sounds very French, that if you change the law and make regulations, the world will be orderly. No, there are problems that have caused this disorderly, and you have to do things to get rid of those problems. Passing regulations is not going to help.
All right, I want to get back to the point that Robert Brusco made a little while back about each one of those 20 leaders in Seoul playing to the home crowd. And we've heard some strong words, we'll look at them perhaps later, from the governor of the Central Bank of England in the past 24 hours, where he said there has to be a strong message out of this, summit. Otherwise, we could face more protectionism and a lot more trouble. What are you expecting as a businesswoman, as the leader of a small business, out of a summit like this one?
Well, it's like I said a while ago, what we need is, as a very small business looking at world economy, we need for these different countries to agree and to make things better so that people have money to spend.
A message of reassurance is important to you.
Yes. We have a company that does half of its business in France and the other half abroad. Our biggest customers are in Germany and in the United States. In fact, we have a subsidiary in the United States. Now, this subsidiary was created 18 months ago, but it hasn't really taken off yet because the economy is just so flat over there. So what are we doing? We're just carrying it so that it will be there, ready to start turning as soon as things get better. And that's what we are expecting from the different countries, is to make the economy work, so that people can have jobs and buy houses and spend money.
All right, I want to get back to a point, Martin Corr, you made in that piece in the Guardian today. Perhaps we're putting too much of the onus on the different national governments. You say that we need to secure the involvement of private lenders and investors in this process.
Well, the problem is now we have a speculative casino, in the world financial system. We are allowing institutions to gamble, to